What's going on, guys? Braedon Flynn here, one of the contributors at Film Supply Club. Today we're going to be talking about using a light meter and how to expose your film. So a lot of the way that I love to shoot is when my subject is backlit. And with that, what it is you can see, if you're probably shooting from this way and the way that I'm shooting it, she's going to have this amazing ring of light hitting her hair. And what's also nice is, like, if you look at my face, it has this hard light, or basically hard light that's happening. Where with her face, all of the light is really even because it's basically in the shade. And so you have this really soft light on your subject, you've got this beautiful glow behind them, and then what's great about film as well is that it retains the highlights so you can expose for your shadows, and then the sky is still gonna hold out. So what I'm doing with the light meter is I'm coming in, instead of getting the sun up here, I'm coming in and getting into the shade, and so I'm gonna shoot her at 4.0, I'm wanting my aperture to be set, and so it's telling me at 500th. I'm shooting 800 speed film, I'm rating it at 640, and these should be beautiful. Let's take a couple frames. Oh yeah, right there, stay there. Yeah, I want the wind to blow your hair. Perfect. Let's have you, can you climb up on this rock a little bit? So again, what we're looking at, bring your body a little bit more so you're hitting the sun, facing this way. There you go. So here, now you've got, this would be considered a rim light that's hitting her on the face right here. If I'm gonna be shooting from over this way. If I wanted to get what the sun is gonna be, that's 2040, and then the shade is back at 540. So I would still expose for the shade here, and I'm gonna let what's happening with the highlights, so they're not going to blow out, but they're going to definitely, I think they'll be retained in the film. One big reason that I like to use a light meter, one is I really like total control of my images, and I'm really wanting to figure out where it is that I'm exposing my frame. But the way that I shoot, really, it is mostly backlit, so the sun is over here and I'm shooting into the sun. A lot of what happens when you're using an in-camera meter is it's taking more of an average rating and it's getting a lot of the brightness of the sun, so what's going to happen is she would then be underexposed. But she's the main part of this photo. That is some high water right there. She's the main part of this photo, so I need her to be exposed unless I'm trying to shoot a silhouette. So that's why I'm now wanting to expose for this instead of getting this exposure for the sun. So now the way that I'm shooting Elizabeth is front lit. The sun's behind me, it's shining straight on here. And so seeing what the sun is metering at and shooting at 500 f11. This actually, using your in-camera meter, works pretty good when you're shooting front lit, less good when you're shooting backlit. So when using this, basically what I'm doing, I'm saying it at f11, so it's saying it's about at 1,000, 640. So this is saying it's about, that'll be about a stop difference. So let's see how that turns out. it's so bright here. If I was to get the sun, we're at 2040, but what I'm doing is I'm metering for the shade, and so, or metering for the shadows is technically what you'd say, and so we're at 540. This lens goes down to, what is this, 2.4, so we'll shoot it, see what it is at 2.8, 1000-8. So angle the body a little bit that way, bingo. Another thing that's really nice about when you use a light meter is, like, let's say I was just shooting a really shallow depth of field, and so let's say I wanted to get more in focus. So now I want to shoot it at 250-5.6. I'm just scrolling. These keep your reciprocal. It would be the rule of reciprocity, but it's like the reciprocal what a proper exposure is at that exposure and that shutter speed, or that aperture and that shutter speed. So let's try it. We're going to shoot it more at 250-5.6 instead of a really shallow depth of field. If I was shooting at f11, this would be a 30th, but over here front lit, now we're looking at 250 f11. So again, I'm metering for the light. So what we have going on here right now is, like, it's a pretty hazy, it's been a humid sort of week. We've got hurricanes down in Mexico that are happening, but what it does is, like, this time of night with the sunset happening, it gets this like really, really beautiful haze down here on the beach. But this sort of light is just spectacular on film. So again, what I'm doing with the meter is I'm metering for the shadows, and I'm going to expose for those. She's going to be perfect exposure, and then we're going to still see this like amazing light. So right now I've got it at 125 f6 or 5.6, and I think we'll do that, or actually, yeah, 125 at 5.6. I'm going to shoot with more of a shallow depth of field, where before I was shooting at 5.6, which is getting a lot more, it keeps a lot more detail in there. Now I'm wanting her to really, really stand out in the photo, and so I'm going to be shooting at the 2.4. So using the phone, the light meter app on the phone, what I'm doing, shooting this backlit, see it's really having a really hard time. It's saying 1/25th or like a 2,000th of a second. So I'm trying to even like shoot it on here. So if you only have this, which I've forgotten my light meter before or run out of batteries, what I would end up doing was you have to come all the way up to your subject, basically like shield your phone and come in here and, oh, I just fired my camera, dang it. And come in here and try to like get into the shadow. So now it's a little bit more accurate. So about 2/50th coming in here, all the way into the darkest area. And that's gonna be a lot more accurate. Same deal with the light meter. So that's what I'm doing. I'm being very isolated with my light meter. I'm coming in here, I'm getting the shade, or the shadows. 250-40 is sort of 125-40, 250. So that's what I was able to get with the phone coming all the way in here. A real light meter is a little bit of an investment, but if you're actually on a professional shoot or if you're out and about, it's a real hassle to then bring your phone out, open the app up, get the app going, adjust the thing. You know, it's a hassle using the phone, but it works if you got it in your pocket and you don't have one of these, or if you're just out shooting and this is all you need, or if you're only shooting in the same lighting condition for a while, like outside on the street. This is a decent solution, but if you're shooting professionally and if you're shooting on a shoot, like this is way quicker, this is way more accurate. I wear it on this cool little clip right here. It's a spider holster. We actually sell those in the shop. Really handy. You can attach it to your gear. Yeah, super handy. But I would prefer a light meter, but this is a decent solution as well. So now we're back. This is what you would consider golden hour. We've got the light, it's almost setting. Hitting her, it's really, really beautiful. Film does really well in front lit situations. And I'm exposing for the sun. It's about, let's see, 500, 5.6. Last frame. Hopefully that was a helpful example as to why to use a light meter, how to use a light meter, and you know, we all have light meters typically in our cameras. You're able to sort of get a rating inside of there. You have your phone as an option. I show you how to do that. Just look up the light meter in the App Store, and those are good options, but this is a lot more professional and accurate method, and way easier to have on your person while you're shooting out and about. But again, if you fall back, you don't have this, you can use your phone. So using a light meter, regardless of how you're doing it, I would highly suggest doing that so you have control over how you're shooting, you're controlling your settings, and you get the photo how you want it to look. So thanks so much for watching. You can get all this sort of stuff down in the shop, get your film in the shop, filmsupply.club, and we'll see you on the next one.